Could have been. With me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to Monday Night Football Overtime. Chiefs, Commanders. Actually wasn't a bad game in the first half. And for as bad as this thing turned out to be, 28-7, Chiefs get the victory, run their record to 5-3, 3 straight victories for the Chiefs after falling to 2-3 on the season. They've looked really good in their last 3 contests. The last 2 had Rashid Rice back in the saddle. This offense looks like it's starting to click, and the defense is feeding off of that offense, and they're getting the job done as well. The Commanders had their opportunities in this football game, and it sucks that it ultimately ended up being what it ended up being, because if you wanted to win this game, and I knew they weren't going to win this game, and I asked for proof of life, and I got that tonight, but it came at a cost. And DQ talked all last week about, is the cost too high? Is it too expensive? I asked for proof of life tonight, and the injury reaper said, it's going to cost you a quad. Might cost you a pec. It's definitely going to cost you a Laramie Tunsil hamstring. How bad you want proof of life? I'm leaving here with something. How bad you want proof of life? Because I can show you that your season isn't dead, and I can show you that the brotherhood is alive and well, and these boys are going to continue to fight. But how bad do you want it? Because if you're going to get it, I need something in return. And I ain't leaving here empty-handed. I'm leaving here with something. So if you want this proof of life, what you willing to give me? If that's the case, you might as well take the season, bruh. Like, you can't keep taking stuff from me. I didn't already have it to give in the first place. Too often after these games, win or lose, we're talking about injuries. That's a theme of this season. We'll get to the game in a second, because that takes because this was already a loss for me. This game was already, we were 3-5 before the game started. Unfortunately, I knew how this was going to go. I told you guys we were going to be in this game until the third quarter, into the fourth quarter, and they were going to run away, and that's what happened. It wasn't a shock to me. What was shocking is how they stayed in this game. Didn't see that coming. We'll talk about it. But this was already a loss. So 3-5, I'm not fazed. Some of y'all expected to win. I don't know why, but you did. Good for you. Bless your heart. But if you thought we were going to be 4-4 after this game, then you were delusional. You weren't being realistic. The plan was always to win 1 out of the next 3 games. That is still in full effect. It's the next one that we need to win. And now you're telling me, not going to have my left tackle, probably not going to have my number 1 wide receiver all over again. Not going to have my, defensive tackle, but you might get your quarterback back. Ding! Tried him out there with Jalen Lane, who can't catch, claps in a whorehouse. Luke McCaffrey, bless his heart, he continues to play hard, right? And at this point, I'd rather throw it to him than Jalen Lane. And I'm not going to kill Jalen Lane. He's a rookie. These are the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs, the peaks and valleys that come with rookies. You just got to take them. But every week he drops the football. Every week. And Debo isn't himself still. Like, he was a non-factor again tonight. So, and he kicked off this shit tonight. Debo did, with his shenanigans and his chicanery. However, for those of you who thought we had a shot to win, it was there. They served up a Cincinnati Bengals 2024 Week 3 special, and we wanted no parts of it. It couldn't have gone. Now, to those of you who want to make the argument about getting the football after half. This is the prime example. This is the best reason. And this is the absolute perfect scenario to illustrate why it is important to win the toss, defer until the second half. This game right here, and I'm going to go through it, but we lost the toss. And we get the ball first. Luke McCaffrey does what he's done all season. Tremendous return. Can't let the kicker tackle you, man. Run his ass over. But in typical Luke fashion, great return, out damn near to midfield. We off and we run it. Cliff's in his bag. Good mixture of run and pass. We got the Chiefs on their heels. Debo's catching it here. Debo's getting it there. We're getting it to Phil, and we're in a rhythm. Mariota's keeping it. He's running, and we got them all over the place. And we got tempo going. This is beautiful. Then you throw it to Debo, right to him. Like this wasn't an errant pass. None of that shit. Right through his effing hands. Right into his damn face mask. And again, you can't make this shit up. Generally, when someone drops the ball and it bangs off their face mask, it goes up in the air. That shit went like a ricochet right back to Mike Dana. What is going on right now? Are you serious? This beautifully scripted opening salvo is going to end because Debo Samuel took his eye off the football too damn fast and it goes through his hands, but doesn't carry him into the air upwards. It carries him right back to the defender that's trying to get out there. Un-effing believable. If you want to play that encapsulates our season in one play, you want a microcosm of our season, there it is in one play. You need not look any further to figure out why our season has been what it's been this year. That's straight out of Football Follies, man. We made Mike Dana look like a Pro Bowl player. Mike Dana's a bum. A try-hard bum. And we made him look like a star tonight. Unabated to the quarterback sack on a pivotal third down, a wide receiver screen that's open for big yardage, interception. That was your first opportunity to jump on top of this Chiefs team and play from a position of power, a position of strength. You needed a lead. That's how you apply pressure to a team that is supposed to be better than you. You apply pressure by jumping out to an early lead and making them feel the weight of we're double-digit favorites. We're not supposed to be trailing. You put that weight on their shoulders. You make them press. Instead, you gave them the ball back. But okay. We said, they told us that the defense, they made tweaks. We saw a lot of Tyler Owens tonight. Okay, more speed on the field. You said you wanted to get faster. We saw a lot of Jordan McGee, Frankie Louvu playing defensive end. So he basically started tonight. Okay, you want more speed on the field. I see what's going on. Revo was flying around. We hitting folks. Okay, I see y'all. This looks good. I like this. I like the feel of this. They're fighting. I asked for proof of life. These boys are fighting. Okay, I can get with this. Marshawn Lattimore picks off a pass? Are you kidding me? Did somebody play the lotto? Is it snowing outside? Somebody tell me what is going on right now. This can't be life. This can't be real. Did Marshawn Lattimore just look back for the football? That's number one. 2, locate it. And 3, pick it off. We really do got a shot to win tonight, don't we? Okay, fellas, you foiled the first opportunity. Here's another one. Let's see what you do. Move it down the field expeditiously. 4th and 6. Throw it to Zach Ertz. Looks like he's got the first down to me. Looks like a bullshit-ass spot. They were jerking us around all night with the spots, with the catches. Everything had to be overturned by replay. They were trying to go full Kansas City Chiefs. Let's make sure the Chiefs win this game on primetime television. Can't let them lose to a double-digit underdog. No way. Everything had to be overturned by the booth. But we didn't get the break here, right? They put the ball down. It took them 27 minutes to do this stupid-ass chipping the football measurement just to tell us we were 5 inches short, and I still think it was a bad spot, but whatever. Ertz, get the goddamn first down, bro. Same shit from the Steelers game last year. Just get the goddamn first down, bro. Another opportunity. How many times do you think the Chiefs are going to give you a chance to get out in front? You couldn't have scripted this shit any better, and yet you're blowing it. But the defense had one more trick up their sleeve. Hey? One more trick. This had nothing to do with the defense either. This was all this was all Travis Kelce. Same shit that Deebo Samuel did. Look before the ball, looked it in, before he looked it in, takes his eyes off, trying to make something happen. Ball caroms off his hands into the air. Bobby Wagner. Look at the old man. Bobby on the spot. Pick. 2 picks. 1 game. When we get them in 2s. Don't ask for a 3rd, and don't ask for any more turnovers for the next 2 weeks. You know how this shit goes. You wasted them up tonight. We wasted the good turnovers on you. You should have saved them shits for Seattle next week against Sam Darnold. Because you knew you won't beat the damn Chiefs. Should have saved them shits for when you really need them. That's what my parents used to tell me. You better save them tears for when you really need them. You should have saved them damn turnovers for when you really could have used them. What we do with this turnover that we just forced. Great field position, by the way. First play. John Bates. After a RPO, wide ass open, Bates over the middle, gain of 26. We get on the football. Immediately, zone read. Mariota keeps it. An additional 8. Oh, shit, we on the move. Cliff's in his bag. It's 2nd and 2. You want to take a shot here, Cliff? Go right ahead. Be my guest, because you got 2 downs to get 2 yards, and you're going to run it, right? 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 Wrong. 2nd and 2. Hitch to Deebo. No gain. 3rd and 2. You throw it to Zach Ertz, short of the sticks, as if Zach Ertz is about to out-athletic somebody and run for a first down. Ed, shout out to my guy Ed, calls him No Yak Zach for a reason. Why are we throwing it to him short of the sticks? He's already failed us 1 time tonight. In one of the worst tackles I've seen in 25 years, he somehow manages to only get 1 yard. Guy flips over his head, pulls him backwards because Zach is too unathletic to make the guy miss and get the first down. Now it's 4th and 1. We're going to run it, right? Some form of Marcus Mariota zone read where he can keep it, give it, but he's going to be in the action, right? Nope. Had a flashback to week 4 against the Atlanta Falcons on a 4th and 1 when we went for it all and hit Deebo. So Cliff thinks, I'm going to do it again. Bullshit, Cliff. Run the damn ball. Mariota throws the football to precisely no one. I don't know what Terry was doing. I don't know what Mariota was doing because he double clutched the bitch and then threw the shit 50 yards down the field to nobody. It's the worst 4th down attempt I've seen all season, and that's saying something because I've seen some piss poor 4th down conversion attempts this season. Another opportunity squandered to take the lead on a team that is a double-digit favorite in this game that is 19 million times better than you, and you had every opportunity. You could be up 21-0 right now. Worst case scenario, 9-0. At least you got points. but we knew we weren't settling for field goals. DQ came in with the aggressive mindset, and I loved it. You should be up 21-0. At a bare minimum, 14. It's 0-0. That, my friends, is where you lost the game. That the game was over right there. Didn't matter what happened because now the Chiefs, you had to understand, we hadn't actually stopped the Chiefs. Like, we hadn't gotten a third down stop. Their punter hadn't come on the field yet. We stopped them once on third down. They went for it on fourth down. They got it. We hadn't stopped them all game. They stopped themselves with turnovers. So you had to know, eventually, a team that had only turned it over twice this season coming into the game wasn't going to keep turning it over. Eventually, they were going to score. And you know what they did on the next possession? They scored. You know what we did, though? We answered their score with a score, which was very surprising because I thought that at that moment, I thought this is when this team is going to fold like cheap laundry. But they didn't. They scored a touchdown. And then I said, well, don't give up points before the half. And they didn't. And it's 7-7. But this is what I talk about. This is the importance of getting the ball to start the second half. Had we won the toss, deferred, and I don't know what would have happened. I don't know if the Chiefs still throw an interception. It doesn't matter. Because what happened, happened. But had we gotten the ball to start the second half, they hadn't stopped us either. We had just scored a touchdown. I'd like to think that we could have done it again. Went right down the field and scored again. But instead, they got the ball to start the second half. They went down and on a and in typical Commander fashion, right? 7-7. You get them to 3rd and long after an incompletion after Bobby Wagner tips the football. What does Quan Martin do? Because this is what bad, undisciplined football teams do. They self-destruct and they beat themselves. More games in this league are lost than they are won. Bad teams often beat themselves. The good teams just move out of the way and allow them to do it, right? Don't mind if I do. Ball's tipped. Noah Gray never has a chance to catch it. Quan can clearly see Noah Gray does not have this football. He's not going to catch it, and he doesn't need to be contacted at all. And what does Quan Martin do? Oh, he's big and bad now because he doesn't have the football. If he had the football, Quan Martin wouldn't have unloaded like that on him. He would have probably gotten run over and drugged for an additional 1.5 yards on the play. But because he's defenseless now, guys put his guard down because he knows he's not catching the football. Now I'm big, bad, tough. I'm going to light his ass up. We'll take this 15-yard penalty for being stupid as hell. It's going to be 3rd and 10. Right out of halftime. 3rd and 10. Now it's 1st and 10, and the Chiefs went right down the field after that, scored a touchdown. 4th down, had a chance. 4th down, got him the 4th and goal from the 3. Had a chance. It was over at 14-7. It was really over at 0-0 when you didn't get it on the 3rd try to take the lead. But you still had a shot if you could find a way to get that stop after half, whether it was the 3rd and 10 when Quan decided he wanted to unload on Noah Gray for no reason, never gave us a chance to get off the field, or that 4th and goal, you had a chance. But once they took the lead, I told the Commanders Kings in the chat, I said, the game's over because you're now in a position where you're a Chiefs stop away from being down 2 scores because we're not stopping them defensively. Some of y'all had this false sense of reality with the defense that all of a sudden they were good now. Oh, this defense is good. No, it's the same ass-tastic defense being called by the same basic defensive coordinator. They just, like DQ said, tweaked a few things here, tweaked a few things there, and it made a difference early. But this still isn't a good unit. So when it's all said and done, you're going to give up points because you're just not good enough. And so we get the football, kick to us, and we'll call this the Jalen Lane drive. I need a drink for this one. I need a drink for this drive because this one here, boy, these rookies will drive you to drink, man. I swear to God. These rookies, they'll drive you to drink. My God, today. So they kick it off to Jalen Lane. And this brother proceeds to try and catch it on a dead sprint, but forgets the most important thing: the football. And so, ball caroms off his hands, trickles out of bounds at the 1 yard line because he touched it in the field of play without being out of bounds. It's now our ball at the 1 yard line. So you're already starting behind the 8 ball. However, Mariota gets us out of there with a dart to Terry. We got new life. Fresh set of downs, out past the 20. Okay, I like it. You get to 3rd down, and Mariota stands back there, and I thought Mariota played his ass off tonight. Same thing I felt like he did against Atlanta. He deserved better. He deserved better. He really, truly did. 21 of 30. 2 interceptions. Neither one of them shits should have been on his account. The one at the end of the game is just desperation. And the one at the beginning had nothing to do with that. Man went 21 of 30. Played his ass off. And what does he get in return? Third down. He drops back. Great protection. Surveys the field. Looks around. Sees Jalen Lane breaking open. Shit, I'm going to give the rookie a chance. And what does he do? Stumbling, bumbling, gets his hands on the ball. Luckily, the shit wasn't picked off because he tips right off his hands like it always does. Dropping Dallas. Dropping week 3 versus the Raiders. Dropping this game. It seems like every week, kids dropping the football. They had a drop against the Chargers, and Jaden went right back to him on the next play. Every week he drops the football. That was it. That was all she wrote. Once you had to punt right there, that was the danger zone that I was talking about. Now you got to punt to the Chiefs, and you know what they finna do with the football. We force a fumble, though. Darnell Savage puts his hand on the ball on accident. He didn't punch that hoe out. He accidentally put his hand on the football because we don't punch footballs out around here. It's on the ground. And I know people are going to kill Marshawn for this. Marshawn has to know better. You got to dive on that, bro. You trying to get cute and pick it up and scoop it and run with it. Just dive on the ball, bro. We just need it back. That was the opportunity to stay in the game. Rashee Rice gets it back. They go down. They score a touchdown. It's 21-7. And even the game was over for me. I was Mr. Negative tonight because I wasn't going to allow myself to be sucked in tonight. I wasn't doing that. I know better. Been here enough times to know. I just wanted proof of life. I got that. It came with a cost. All right. It came with a hefty price tag, but I got proof of life. But I wasn't going to be sucked into thinking we could win this game. Wasn't going to allow myself to do that. Wasn't worth the anguish and the heartache and the mental exhaustion. I wasn't going there. I'm smarter than that. This wasn't the one of the 3 that I expected to get. This was house money. If we got it, cool. But wasn't going to allow myself to fall into that trap. But if you were one of those people who wanted to stay positive, and shout out to all of you who fought to the very bitter end. That's normally me, by the way. There was an opportunity. It was still an opportunity. You're in the 3rd quarter. We're driving. Marcus, again, I thought he played his ass off, right? And we get to 3rd down and 9. And Sam Cosmi blows protection. This is what happens when a guy hasn't played basically all year. He's in the 2nd game of the season for him, and the continuity just isn't there. They bring a fake pressure. The guy backs out. He had plenty of time to see that safety wasn't coming down and blitzing. And then you turn your direction to Mike Dana, and you pick him up, and Mariota would have had time. They got zero pressure really tonight. He would have had plenty of time, and let's just see what he does. Would have been nice. Never got that opportunity. Instant pressure right up the middle, the kind that you can't do anything with. 12-yard loss on a sack, end of the quarter, end of the game. Now it's 4th and 21. You can't go for it on 4th down, obviously. Have to punt. And you haven't stopped the Chiefs all half long. So what do you think they're about to do? Of course, go right down the field and score their 3rd consecutive touchdown to start the half. It's unfortunate. That's what bad teams do. They beat themselves. Never give themselves a shot. That's the final score, 28-7. All the opportunities were there. And in the midst of this game, you probably lose Terry, who did not return after making a beautiful diving stab. He was so good tonight. All he did tonight was he came back and he reminded everybody of why he's important. That's my GOAT right there. You watch your mouth when you talk about 17 around me. For that reason right there. It's a damn shame that this season for him was ruined by injuries. Him and Mike Evans and all the OGs who had those 1,000-yard streaks, they're coming to an end this year. None of them shits are coming to fruition. And it's a shame that the injury reaper got both of them in the same year. But that shit's over with because he's probably hurt again. And it's crazy. It happened on the same shit, diving for the football. That was a great throw by Mariota, an even better catch by Terry. Fighting through contact against one of the best corners in the league. Fought through that contact and went and tracked that damn football down. Just like he did the touchdown. Terry was spectacular tonight. Just in case you forgot, he just had to remind you of why he got the bread that he got and why he's one of the best receivers in the league. But just like that, he gone. With him, he takes Laramie Tunsil and potentially Javon Kinlaw. We can't win, man. We can't catch a break. We can't catch a break. So you see the importance of Terry in this lineup. He changes everything. Debo was a no-show tonight. Again, the MVP of the first 4 weeks of the season or so, first 5 weeks, no show again. But Terry showed up tonight and made an impact and made a difference. But the run game is non-existent, and I wish I could put my finger on it. I probably need to watch the film. I haven't watched film in almost a month now because this shit is depressing. I know I need to watch it so I can figure out what the hell's going on. But I don't want to, right? I don't want to. I know I need to, but I don't want to. And the schedule's been all funky with the games and when they've been played. And so it's just been all over the place. But I know I need to because I want to figure out what's going on with the run game. It feels like just watching it, and I could be wrong. This is why it's important to watch film. It feels like Cliff has gotten very bland with the run game. Early in the season, a lot of counters, a lot of traps, a lot of getting these linemen out in space, a lot of, getting the lineman to pull, very patient run game. Then you give it to the running back, and he follows them almost on some counter trade type shit, old school. And it feels like now it's a lot of duo, a lot of gap scheme. We trying to out-muscle people like we got it like that, like we just big, physical, imposing offensive line. And that ain't who we are. We ain't built like that. And it feels like none of this shit is working. Feels like Cliff he went back to default factory setting run game. We had all this cute shit going on early in the season, and it feels like he's gone back to default setting run game. And this shit ain't working. The run game was a hindrance tonight. It didn't help at all. Marcus Mariota, I'm just guessing. He probably was your leading rusher tonight. I haven't looked at the statistics. I'm just going off of the way the game went. He probably was your leading rusher. That's nasty because he only had, because of my picks, I know he only had 28 yards. Because I needed him to have 29. And he shorted me a yard. It's nasty what this run game has become. We went from one of the most dominant run games in football to all of a sudden, we can't run this shit. And it ain't because Laramie Tunsil got hurt. He been in the lineup. I don't really know what the hell is responsible for this, but I really would like some answers. Probably going to have to watch the film to get it. But I'll just say this. I got proof of life tonight. The effort that I saw from this team tonight, you take that same effort, again, assuming health, which we can't assume right now. I'm expecting the worst. Kinlaw might be okay. He might have strained his shoulder, sprained it a little bit. They put a wrap on it, and you could put a harness on that. He could play through, it might be a pain tolerance thing like we saw with Quan Martin last year, where he might need surgery in the offseason, but he could play through it, right? It's a pain tolerance thing. He might not be as effective, but he can play through it. Terry, on the other hand, that shit feels like he tagged himself in, and now he's tagging himself back out. Feels like he's going right back on the shelf. And we probably won't see him until after the bye week. That's what it feels like. And if that's the case, we're cooked. You see what this offense has been reduced to. I just wanted to see this offense with Jaden, Terry, and Debo once more. I just wanted to see it one more time. And they're like, nope. Can't let you have it, bro. You're going to take Laramie Tunsil from me. That hamstring is probably going to sideline him for, again, the bye week is what I'm thinking. Boy, we could use this bye week. All right, I'm over the late season bye now. They can stop with this shit. I'm ready for one of these week 7, week 8 buys that everybody else gets. We haven't had a bye prior to week 12 in 5 years. Okay, I'm over this shit. At first, I used to look at it as, hey, we make it to that bye, and it'll give you this boost that you need, like it worked for us last year, right? We got that week 13 bye last year. I think it was week 14 bye last year. And you came off the bye, and it reinvigorated you. It energized you, and you were able to beat the Saints, beat the Eagles, beat the Falcons, beat the Cowboys, go into the playoffs with a 4-game win streak, right? You needed that bye at that time last year. It's perfectly placed. That's the way that you should utilize it. I'm sick of it now. We need one of these early season, like one of these week 7, 8, 9 buys, so that when these shit start to pile up, you just got that week. For instance, Philadelphia, Saquon, if they had a game next week, I don't know if Saquon playing. That hamstring, he pulled up lame. AJ, I don't know if he playing, but this extra week that they finna get, Saquon will probably be straight for Green Bay. AJ will be back for Green Bay. It came at the perfect time. Imagine if they had a week 12 bye like us. They would be in some trouble potentially. I'm over this shit. I'm over these injuries. I hate it here, man. Injury Reaper. Okay. You got us, bro. We get it. We didn't have injuries last year. You making up for lost time. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Okay, I said it. Mercy, mercy, mercy. You got us, bro. You got it. You twisted our arm. Okay, mercy, 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 bro. You got us. Let us go now. Damn. You taking all the fun out of this shit. Mercy, 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 bro. You got it. Let us have our season back. Damn. It's probably too late now. As you can see, the hopium is wearing off because of these damn injuries. That shit is a buzzkill. Let us have our season, bro. This shit is crazy. All I asked for was just to see Jaden back with Debo and Terry. I just wanted to see what it would look like. Just wanted to see if there was a chance. With the way the defense played, fast and physical, with the Tyler Owens insertion into the defense, with Jordan McGee getting some run, with Frankie being down on the defensive line, there may have been you take this same energy we came out with, flying around Revo, all that shit that we saw early. You take that same energy and you play against Seattle with that. I don't know who the hell checking Jackson Smith and Jigba, but you take that same energy home when you putting Arthur Monk into the rafters with the championship threads on a Sunday night. You bring that same energy, and I guarantee you were coming out of there victorious somehow, some way. Not after you done took Terry from me again, potentially Javon Kinlaw. You definitely took Laramie Tunsil from me tonight. What you want me to do, bruh? You ain't even giving me a chance. This shit's wild, bruh. It's wild. You're getting to the point now where I'm like, you get to 3-7, the shit is done. Like I've already talked to you about how you get to a point where you still got a chance to have a season. You get to 3-7, you're cooked. It's over. And at that point, I got to do the thing that I swore I was done doing. I never wanted to go back to 2023 again. I never wanted to do this shit again. It was the best of times because it got us Jaden Daniels. It was the worst of times. I never want to do this shit again. And we may be back to the point where we got to start rooting for losses. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to end up in no man's land. You don't want to end up 6-11, 7-10. If you're going to lose, just be ass and just lose, bro. Right? And I'm not there yet. So I'm not having them conversations with y'all. I don't care about who coming out in the draft. Don't talk to me about no mock draft. Don't send me no mock drafts. None of that shit. Because I ain't there yet. But you get to 3-7 going into that Dolphins game. And then I got to have a real conversation with myself that I don't want to have. I'm dreading that shit. I do not want to have that conversation. But I'm going to have that conversation heading over to that Madrid game. Bro, what is it to you to win this game, come off the bye, probably beat the Giants, maybe beat the Vikings, but what is it to you? Then you got the Cowboys, the Eagles twice. Like, what is it to you? You got the Broncos. You ain't beating the Broncos. Not like this. What is it to you, bro? Like, how bad you want it? I got to start having a conversation I don't want to have. All I ever asked was just to give me a shot. We still got a shot next week. We got to figure out what these injuries are. If Terry's okay, he didn't look okay. I'm just going to be honest with you. He looked despondent. He looked the same way he looked on the sidelines when he first injured the quad. He looked like a guy that knew, I just did it again. He looked like a man that ain't coming back. Kinlaw, I think, is going to be okay. He's not going to be the same, but he'll be out there. Tunsil ain't coming back for at least a month. Oh, yeah. By the way, this is the most important month of the season. So, yeah, it would be nice to have him. But, of course, we wouldn't, right? So, we just got to see because if Terry's back, we can get by with Brandon Coleman. I'm fine. We can get by with Brandon Coleman. It changes how you protect, but we can get by. But because Jaden, I think he's going to be back. You don't allow Jaden Daniels to make the flight. You don't allow Jaden Daniels to stand on the sidelines. We know how volatile it is on the sidelines. DQ found it out the hard way in week 3 versus the Raiders. You got to have cat-like reflexes. And if I think there's anything actually wrong with you to the point where you can't protect yourself, I'm not letting you stand on the sidelines as the star quarterback out of the game. I saw J.J. McCarthy last week having to dodge 2 defenders coming off to the sidelines, tumbling in front of him. He had to jump out of the way. This is a man coming off of a hamstring. Are you really going to put your quarterback in that type of position if you don't think he's healthy enough? Of course you're not. Hey, life comes at you fast on them sidelines. Them dudes are rumbling in your direction at 17, 18 miles an hour. You think you should be able to get out of the way, but it happens so fast. Jaden was on the sidelines cooling. So if they didn't even let him travel to Atlanta the last time, bro. They let him make the trip and stand on the sidelines. He's good. He'll be playing next week. Who the hell is he throwing the football to? Who the hell is he throwing the football to? Therein lies your problem. Because the run game is dead. Dead, I tell you. Who the hell is he throwing the football to? Because the run game is non-existent. That shit doesn't even exist anymore. Anyway, I digress. Let's get to the comment section. Or excuse me, let's get to the skill game. Brought to you by Sleeper. We'll come back on the other side. We'll get to the comment section, and then we will get out of here. Let's get to the skill game. Brought to you by Sleeper.
The skill game brought to you by Sleeper.
All right. So, Sleeper is a fantasy sports and real money gaming app that focuses on bringing people together through sports and gaming. Absolutely love this app. I'm so disappointed in that. I needed a win tonight, and not from this game. I put together a crazy ticket that actually made a lot of sense, and we'll go through it here in a second. But I had some NBA shit that I just knew was going to hit tonight, and man, these dudes be selling me, bro. I swear to you, man, your boy just needed a win tonight. I needed a win somewhere tonight. You know, and the NBA boys ain't deliver for me. So I'm back at the drawing board tomorrow. The good thing about the NBA is you get to do it again tomorrow, right? Unlike the NFL, you got to wait all the way until Thursday. I get to do it again tomorrow. But if you haven't already downloaded the Sleeper app, shame on you, first of all. But there's never the wrong time to do the right thing, right? It's never the wrong time to do the right thing. You still got time. Download the Sleeper app. There's a link in the description of this video. Click that link. It'll take you to where you can download the app. Once you do that, make sure Sleeper is available in your area. It's available in over 25 states in the U.S. Verify you're a person and you are who you say you are. And after you do that, they're going to give you $20 free. You don't have to do anything for those $20. Just sign up. Once you get that $20, you can do some damage. Okay, we're going to take a look at some things tonight. You can do some damage with $20. But you want to do a little bit more damage, use my promo code LTN to get you a 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. That's right. You put in $100, they're going to give you an additional $100 to spend. A dollar for dollar match. You can't beat that. Let's see what this could get you. All right. So let's talk about it. So tonight, this was the ticket that I put together. I had Luke McCaffrey for 11 yards receiving. He had 24. He got that out of the way really quickly. I think he had more than 11 yards on the first two possessions of the game. Had a nice sideline toe tap catch. That was beautiful. Shout out to Luke. I had a Rashid Rice anytime touchdown. He almost had it early in the game when he stretched. He was just short. They got it to him a little bit later on in the game, so that was no problem. And I should have took Rico's advice. Rico said Rashid Rice is going to get the football. He had 9 catches. I think the number was 6.5. Rico was like, yo, he's going to get it 7 times, bro. He got it 9 times. He was spot on. But I took the Rashid Rice anytime touchdown because I knew he was going to touch pay dirt, and he did. I knew Noah Gray, they were going to get one of these bootlegs. Noah Gray was going to catch it, run, you know, because we don't cover tight ends. And he had a catch. All he needed was a 7-yard catch. He had a catch for like 11 yards out in the flats. So that hit. So it really was a lot of our guys that let me down. Starting with, let's go with Marcus Mariota, rush yards, 28.5. So he needed 29. This man hit 28 yards rushing. I mean, that's a microcosm of me on Sleeper right there, right? I had Marquise Hollywood Brown, longest catch with 13.5 yards. He was like, he's a joke in this Chiefs offense. He's the forgotten man. He like Patrick throws it to Juju Smith-Schuster. He'll throw it to Noah Gray. He'll throw it to Travis Kelce. He'll throw it to Rashid Rice. He'll throw it to anybody but Hollywood Brown. I don't know what possessed me to go with anything Hollywood Brown related, because this dude he's not a real person, as Rio would say. He's not a real human, man. I don't have to worry. He won't be on another ticket of mine from now until eternity. He's done. He's dead to me. Jalen Lane, if he catches that one football on third down, that would have been a 14-yard gain. I counted. I was petty. Would that have gotten me what I needed? Yeah, because I didn't expect him to get a ton of targets. But I said, he's going to catch one pass. That's when all you need is 13. You're going to catch one pass. That's going to get me this. Same with Luke. He needed 11 yards. He's going to catch one pass. Lane had a chance to catch that one pass. He didn't do it. We had 18 opportunities to get into the red zone and score. This is the thing you have to know about our offense. We don't get into the red zone very often because we stink on offense, right? However, when we do get into the red zone, we score. We score. And we got down there tonight, and what we do? Scored a touchdown. And Debo had a chance. He had two hands on the goddamn football. He had both his feet down. He couldn't pull the football in. He had a chance to get me my damn touchdown. And if we'd have got down there again, I feel like he would have gotten in, but we just never did. We never got down. We never gave ourselves a chance to score a touchdown. So this was really actually, it turned out because for some reason, remember I had Terry up here, longest game was like 19. And remember Terry had to dive and catch. So I would have had that one too. But it wouldn't let me process that ticket with Terry on it for whatever reason. It kept telling me there was some sort of error. You guys saw it when I did it on the skill game earlier. If I had Terry for that 19 and he caught one, that deep ball that he dove for. So that would have hit too. But if Debo would have caught that touchdown, Lane would have caught that one pass, I still would have been screwed because Marquise Hollywood Brown didn't even get a target. I don't think he got a target in this game. He stinks. But this was actually a really good ticket. I like the addition of the like longest reception, all that. I like those. I could do damage with that moving forward. This was a $10 ticket that with a 44% boost, they were wilding today. Shout out to Sleeper for these boosts they were giving out today. 44% boost. This thing was up over $1,200. It didn't come to fruition though, because guys let me down like they always do. Like they always do. I had a basketball joint here. And this was supposed to be an easy one. Like this was supposed to be a layup. Just put this shit in the basket, bro. Easy pass up ahead. Oh, right? Oh. You cherry picking, right? They get the rebound, you standing down court, cherry picking, they throw you the ball. It's an easy layup. Just put it in the basket. That's what this was supposed to be, right? Ja scored 24 points. He still got a chance to do that. The game's still going on. Steph scored 27 points. Steph stinking it up today. Right? Randall scored 15 points. He did. Mitchell scored 28 points. He did. Maxey, he's on a tear. Scored 20 points. He scored 43. This dude right now is ridiculous. Joker, give me assists and rebounds combining over 22. He said, I got you, 29. KD, your stinking ass just scored 26 points, bruh. Couldn't even do that. I ain't effing with KD. That's the second time he done killed the whole ticket for me. Second time this year. F KD. F his ass. So that one died on the table. Hey, Shay been scoring damn near 40 every night. I just had him 25 points, Shay. Nah, I'm good, bro. I got 23 tonight. Kick rocks. Steven Adams, get 9 rebounds, bro. You in the game to rebound, bro. That's it. I got you for 8. I needed 9. Wemby, combined rebounds and points. Get me for 42. I got you for 39, bro. My bad. I can't win for lose, man. Anyway, I digress. I'll be back tomorrow. But shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring this stream. And once again, if you're out there, LTN, that one ticket that I had that I showed you, just $2,100 on the line with the boost that they had. $2,100. You can't ask dudes to do simple stuff for you. Simple things. I wasn't asking much. Damn KD stinking ass. Anyway, I digress. Let's get to the comment section and see what you guys are talking about. That was the skill game brought to you by Sleeper.
The skill game brought to you by Sleeper.
All right, let's get to the comment section. I need some more drink. Let me pour me some more drink, man. Some more misery in my cup. I'm hurting over here, man. The hopium wearing off. Nobody knows my struggle. Nobody knows my sorrow. All right. Let's get to the comment section. Rob, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy Rob, writes, Cliff's play calling is baffling at times. It can be. It really, truly can be. Cliff will drop some dimes on you, and it'll be like 6, 7 straight plays in a row, and you're like, yo, Cliff is in his bag, bro. That was cute. That was nice. He got him on skates. He going that way. They going that way. He got him running all over. And then Cliff would he would lose his mind temporarily and get away from the run. And it's like, what you got to always remember with Cliff and guys like him who are former NFL quarterbacks, at their core, they want to throw the football. At their core, they want to. Cliff, if you let Cliff do it, if you give him Jaden Daniels and you say, hey, Cliff, you ain't got to run the ball, Cliff like, bet. I let Jaden sling that bitch 42 times for sure. Cliff, you got to remind him sometimes, hey, bro, run the ball, right? It's a shame because even when the shit, it's not working right now. So for those that want to, kill Cliff for not running the ball in certain instances, yes, you sure can. That I gave you the instance when, you get the turnover from Bobby when he picks it off, you get the hit to John Bates, and then you get the 8-yard run to Mariota. You got to run the ball, bro. At some point, like you ain't have to run it on 2nd and 2. You can take your shot right there. But after that, you got 2 downs to get 2 yards. Run the football. He refuses. That's the shit that irks you, right? With Cliff. Is that he loses his mind temporarily. You're like, bro, what the f were you thinking just now? Why? Drinkable Measy. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Drinkable Measy writes, diabolical. The second half was laughable. KC. It was exactly what I thought it would be. Unfortunately, I did think we would score. I did not think we would get shut out of the half completely, but I knew they would run away and hide. I thought we would put up a little bit more resistance offensively, and we didn't. We didn't have the answers. We kept making mistakes, right? You can't make mistakes against a team the caliber of a Kansas City. Mr. Pink, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Mr. Pink writes, crying emoji. I'm crying with you, bro. I'm crying with you, man. I'm hurting just like you hurting, bro. It's tough. Julian Black Rhino and my guy, Jay Mother effing Moo. What up, man? Thank you for your generosity, man. Can't thank you enough. My guy, Jay. Look at you in the thumbnail looking like Dapper Don. Look at you looking all clean and shit, Jay Moo. Shout out to my guy, Jay Moo, man. Commanders looked way better today. I told you, they showed me proof of life. They showed me proof of life. I got what I came for. My problem is it came at a cost. He says, but we couldn't take advantage of KC mistakes. That was where the game was lost. You had a chance at the beginning. You didn't take advantage. That's where you lost the game. On a different note, listen to you and Rico today to set up my parlay. Cheers. Hopefully you got something out of there. He told you Rashid Rice. Hopefully you took his advice. The Marcus rush yards, he sold us, man. I just needed one more yard. He could have ran at the end of the game. That bullshit ass dive, and then he fumbled, so they took the yards away. Boo for Marcus Mariota. That was the only thing that he pissed me off on today. But anyway, I hope it worked out for you. Hope it worked out for you. Shadow Striker. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy, Shadow Striker 789. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, needed Bill 40 yards for 5 bands. That shit sucks. because I know he ain't get it. I told you I think Marcus Mariota was our leading rusher. I can't confirm that. I haven't looked it up. But if I had to guess, I'd say Marcus Mariota because we just didn't. Bill didn't have one hit in the run game when you go, okay, I see that shit, Bill. I see you, Bill. He ain't had one hit in the run game. We ain't moving people no more. It ain't no space for this man no more. The run game is gone stale. And Cliff ain't calling games that give you, confidence that this shit can get back on track. It just don't feel like the same run game we watched earlier this season that was just dominating teams up front. Kelsey, Mahomes, Pacheco, Rice, plus TD hits, TD all hits. Damn. The one commander prop sells me. We on the no bet list. I don't care. I feel you on that, bro. I got a lot of people that I'm adding to that list of you can't be on the ticket, bro. You on the no bet list. And like Bill is on that for me. Like that's why I didn't put Bill. Like I was going back and forth between Debo and Bill. Bill ain't scored in damn near a month. Bill ain't scored since the Chargers game. And with the way this run game going, he ain't gonna score. I'm not sure that we get down to the 3-yard line, we can get him in the end zone with the way the shit going right now, with the way we blocking up front. So this ain't a Bill problem, by the way. This ain't a Bill problem. This is a us problem. So I feel you. I feel you on that. Because if I'd have filled my shit up with Chiefs players, I probably would have hit tonight. Because the ones that I was sure about Luke, and I was sure about Mariota. And even though he didn't hit, those were the two that I felt good about. And I'm like, they tempted me with this Jalen Lane shit. This is fat, pretty hot and tempting. Problem was he ain't do his part. You know what I mean? He got the opportunity. He ain't fulfill his end of the bargain. Skins fans 1989. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes Connerly stinks. That was so random. Where'd that come from? Where'd that come from? GT7. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Shout out to Josh Connolly Jr., man. You all right in my book, man. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, Louie, the offense just couldn't capitalize on turnovers. Same song all around the world. Same song. Same story, bro. Same song. Same shit. Couldn't capitalize on opportunities. Sound familiar? We've been here before. Right? Done that. Finally forced turnovers. Didn't know what to do because we don't get them. We didn't know what to do after we got them. Oh shit, we got a turnover. What are we supposed to do? I don't know. You asking me? I ain't never been here before. That's how they was acting. Shit, yo, we got a turnover, bro. What do we do? I think I seen it on TV. Run to the end zone. Which one? It's two of them. Run to the closest one. Yeah, that one over there. Now what we do? We made it to the end zone. Find the camera. Where's the camera? I don't know, bro. We ain't never done this shit before. Our turnover celebrations be so weird because we don't get them shits. We don't know what to do. Then you get the shit, and then they was like, hey, we got the turnover. Offense is like, what do we do? They're like, try and score a touchdown. Off of a turnover, you can do that? Yeah. Okay. But they couldn't do it. They don't know how to act when they get turnovers, bro. This shit is all new to us. We can't overcome turnovers. That was one of the keys to victory. You can't turn it over. They're better than you. Don't turn it over. And too many injuries. Don't start me down the injury path. Don't send me down that road again. Cosme, stop explaining. Just say my bad. Facts. You were wrong, bro. You effed up. Just let the shit go. Next 2 weeks are crucial. Just take it 1 week at a time. Don't look forward to the lines. It'll send you into a depressive state. You'll be like me over here drinking your sorrows away. Just look at Seattle and say, we got a shot. If you want to stay sane, don't look at Detroit because that'll send you down a whole nother path that you might not come back from. Epic Games Jacob Channel. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, I need help. I've been watching this team sincerely since the 80s. I need some kind of pills. This team is too much. I got some hopium. I don't have no pills. But I got some hopium if you still want to hope that this team can turn it around. If you ain't interested, I'll leave you alone. I'm not going to press the issue. But if you interested, I got some hopium. I can still sell some hope to you. I got to wait to see what's the results. And we probably won't get this until Wednesday with Terry. But we get to Wednesday and Terry ass ain't practicing. We get to Thursday and I'm going to assume Terry's not practicing on Wednesday. We get to Thursday and Terry ain't practicing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to take another shot of hopium. I don't know if I'm going to be able to take another shot, but I ain't got no pills for you though, bro. Sorry. Can't help you. G Moore, baby. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, Lane is horrible. Hey. Easy on the rook, man. Easy on the rookie. Okay. I get it. He's been a little disappointing as a receiver. They drafted him to be a special teamer that was supposed to help. He was not primarily. You saw what he almost did on that last punt return. It'd be nice if we could force some punts so he could actually get some chances to return some kicks. What a concept. You force a stop defensively, and they got to use their punter to kick the ball to the 4th round pick that you drafted to return kicks. He's actually really good at that. Don't ask me why he can't return kickoffs. Doesn't make any sense. But he's great at punt returns. Be nice if you force some punts so he could actually get some opportunities. But that seems like too much to ask of this defense. So carry on. He says Zach is always an inch short. Remember Pittsburgh last year? The coaches are terrible. Yep. I brought that up earlier. I'm going to be honest with you. We've gotten the best out of Zach and Bobby that we're going to get. We used it all up last year. Those guys were stellar for us. We brought them back because we wanted to rekindle the magic, but we used it all up last year. Zach gets it. You want to beat up Jalen Lane? He's a baby. He's a puppy. Babies make mistakes. He's still learning how to walk out there, man. He should have never been in this position. If we were healthy, we wouldn't be asking. He would still be in a crawling phase as a receiver. We got this man out here trying to run, and he ain't even learned how to walk yet. He's a puppy. He's a baby. I'm not going to beat him up. But you know who is? A full-blown ass adult? Zachary Ertz. And he dropping the ball every goddamn week. Ain't no excuse for it. We got the most that we can get out of Bobby and Zach, man. I appreciate everything they did for us. I will always have a soft spot for both of them. They gave us some of the best joy we've experienced as a fan base over the last 20 years last season. But they're done, bro. When you and again, I'm not at the point where I'm willing to punt yet. But if you get to 3-7, Ben Sinnott had a catch. Hey, y'all clap it up for Ben Sinnott. Ben Sinnott, everybody. Ben Sinnott with a catch tonight. Ben Sinnott with a catch, everybody. We got to get to a point at 3-7. If we get there, well, you got to stop with this shit, man. Get the youngins in there, bro. You did it on defense. At some point, you got to do it on offense, too. You got to do it on offense, too. Get Ben Sinnott out there, man. Like, we got to see what he can do. Take the bubble wrap off as a receiver. Crazy Negro. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Crazy Negro writes 8 and 9 playoff miss. Denzel Boston first round in the draft. Have no idea who Denzel Boston is. Don't want to talk about the draft, but 8 and 9 is very possible, and that would be the worst case scenario for this team. You're not good enough to make the playoffs, but you're not good enough to get a top 15 pick. That is absolutely where you don't want to be. I want no parts of 8 and 9. Either I want to be 4 and 13, which is not going to happen because this team isn't going to bottom out that way. But either I want to be 4 and 13 or I want to be 10 and 7. No in between. No in between. So either you win one of these next 3 games, which you lost one already tonight, which already baked into that equation. Either you win one of the next 2, or I want no parts of anything other than losing at that point, because then you need some elite shit. And it sucks that you don't have a second round pick because you had a chance to double dip and get 2 elite items, and now you only get 1. We better win next week, man. I ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. We better win next week. I ain't got time for this draft shit. This man just said a whole name that I ain't never heard of in my life. I don't have time for this shit, man. Fuck a Denzel Boston, man. I don't have time for this shit, man. Y'all better win next week. Y'all got me about to crash out. Y'all better win next week because I don't have time. You see that super chat just now? I don't have time for this shit, man. You some of them, y'all about to send me down to Bernie Mac Road. You some of them, bitch. You better win next week. I don't have time for this shit. Leno Ryan Benvenite, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member for 41 months. Salute. He writes, not enough talent to hurt. Seattle equals must win. Yeah, it's shit. That's where we at, bro. That's where we at. You better win next week, goddammit. I don't have time for this shit. You some of my bitches. You better win next week. I got super chats now talking draft. I don't have it. I don't have it. You better win next week. Don't piss me off. Yoshi, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Yoshi, thank you for being a member of the MOBB rights. Season on the line next Sunday. Facts. By the way, this is a bottom 10 run defense right now. Yeah, it feels like it. And with Kinlaw getting hurt, doesn't help. And Bill might be on the fraud watch. This ain't a Bill problem. Like y'all want Bill to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. I don't really know what y'all want Bill. There are no holes. I saw one of the best blocking opportunities tonight. Chris Rodriguez ran right into a defender. He had a blocker outside and he cut back right into a damn defender. And I was like, who is that? You know how you be in the classroom and your teacher, who is that talking back there? Who is that? You got to know. Who is it? Because the shit was so egregious. That was C-Rod on that run. Who is that? I don't think he got another carry after that. That was some bullshit. Wasted a perfectly good blocking scheme. That's the counter shit that I'm talking about. You get a couple blockers out in front and you follow those blocks. That's what we were doing earlier. And C-Rod wasted the shit. Cute little formation too. 2 running backs in the backfield. And he wasted the shit. This ain't a Bill problem. By the way, I wasn't laughing at Kinlaw and the mob. I was laughing at how cursed we are. Also, Louie is washed. I saw your comment when you said you were and I apologize. I said me malo, but your timing was awful because you started laughing right as Kinlaw went down, and we were talking about it in the comment section. It felt like you were laughing at Kinlaw. We don't even laugh at injuries for other teams' players. So we don't do that because we don't want the karma that comes with that shit. Which is why I had to reach out and touch you. That's my fault though. You explained that, and I saw that, and I felt bad afterwards. But in the moment, it felt like you were talking about Kinlaw's injury. And we don't want the bad juju. We got enough of it already. Again, it's like they came back and was like on some Snyder shit on us. Like the black cloud is back. And I'm like, what we do, bro? I thought we had, I talked to the football guys last year, and I felt like we had gotten past all of this. I'm shocked that we're here. I really am. Louisville isn't washed, but again, much like I said with Mikey Sanders still, he's just not being used properly. But at this point, for the sake of Jordan McGee getting on field, and I hate it has to come at the expense of Frankie Louisville, but at this point, to get Jordan McGee on the field, Louisville at defensive end, shit, do it. I'm with it. I advocated for this 2 weeks ago. It took DQ to come into the defensive room and force the changes for it to happen. But I advocated for this already. I need to get Jordan McGee on the field. Pro Wrestling Archivist. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, which Bates was nearly as good at catching as blocking. Ertz likely is future endeavored by season's end. I'm advocating right now. First of all, if we stay in the race, Ertz is going to be a big part of it. So I'm not going to shit on him. But if we get out of this thing, if we lose the next 2 games and we drop to 3-7, you got to start seeing what Ben Sinnott can do. I know they're not going to do it because they're too prideful and they think they can still win games and they're not going to punt on the season. They're not looking at it from a fan's point of view and perspective. I'm just telling you, if we get to 3-7, we're cooked. And now you got to find out what Ben Sinnott is, because I need to know, do we need to draft an athlete? Like, I can't keep watching Tucker Kraft and then looking at my shit, looking at Tucker Kraft and then looking at my shit, and then looking at Tucker Kraft and then looking at my shit, and then looking at Harold Fannin Jr. and then looking at my shit, and then looking at Harold Fannin Jr. and then looking at my shit, and then looking at Tonjes and then looking at my shit, and then being, okay, we good. I can't keep doing that shit. I can't keep looking at Aronde Gaston II and then looking at my shit, and then looking at Aronde Gaston and then looking at my shit. I can't keep doing that, bro. So you got to tell me, am I good or not? Only one way to find out. You got to put him on the field and actually throw him the goddamn football. Because I'm sick of this shit. Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, didn't take advantage of the early turnovers. We didn't do it. We didn't do it. Could have easily taken field goals. Nah, this wasn't that type of game, Swaggy P. He said, but love the aggression from DQ early. DQ on that first quarter sideline interview said, we're going after it tonight. This was the Cincinnati game, and we had an opportunity to have that outcome. We just don't have the mojo from last year. We ain't got the motion from last year. We ain't got the offense from last year. We don't have the Jaden from last year. We don't have nothing from last year. It's all different, and none of this shit works right now. It's all different, and none of this shit works right now. And it just sucks because the opportunity was there. You wanted to pull the upset. You wanted to shock the world. The opportunity was there. And we missed it. We missed it. Terry is back. No. Terry was back. It was fun to watch while it lasted, wasn't it? Damn, I love Terry. Damn, I love 17. He just sprinkle me, bitch. Sprinkle me. He gave us some Salt Bay. He just gave us a little bit, just a little sprinkle. A little sprinkle. All right, I'm gone again. I hate it here, bro. Swaggy P, save me, bro. Save me. Take me away. Take me sailing. Takes me away to where I wanna be. Take me away, Swaggy P. I don't want to be here no more. I hate it here, bro. This shit is the worst. Take me away sailing, Swaggy P. Bring me back when the season's done. I don't need this shit, man. He said, definitely the loudest stadium I've ever been to. I bet. They know how to do it in Kansas City. On to Seattle. Raise hell. I needed that. Thank you, Swaggy P. I needed that, as always. Thank you. All right. Stephen Dent. Thank you for the super chat. Or thank you for being a member for 11 months. My guy, Stephen Dent, writes, mercy, mercy, mercy. Hashtag, I hate it here. Damn, Lou. Like, I mean, I swear I've said this to the injury reaper like multiple times. Mercy, 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 bro. Like, you got me. All right. Let me go. Let me go. Okay. You got me. You got me, bro. What more you want from me? I already said mercy, 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 bro. Like 15 times. Let me go. I hate it here too, Steven. I hate it here too, bro. Video channel. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, this is a Jacob Martin appreciation post. Round of applause for Jacob Martin. Golf clap for Jacob Martin. He would have been so perfect this year in the role that we brought him in to fulfill. There was such promise for him off the bench as a situational guy that got reps when you're wearing down that offensive line. Here comes Jacob Martin with a ton of energy. Damn, he would have been perfect behind Dorrance Armstrong and Dietrich Wise. We got one game of that shit. One effing game of that. And the shit looked elite. Shout out to Jacob Martin, man. 2 sacks tonight. Was relentless. He kicked the shit out of Dallas's offensive line last week. He's the only guy we got left that can get any kind of pressure by himself. Shout out to Jacob Martin, man. Jay Hunter Lee. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jay Hunter Lee writes, Brother Lou. Brother Lou. What's going on, Jay Hunter Lee, man? Love the suit, by the way. These players are not in good condition this year. The training staff needs to be evaluated after the season, bro. I know y'all want blood. Somebody got to pay for this. I don't think the staff got anything to do with it. Look, it's just one of them situations, bro. The shit just didn't go our way this year. I don't think anybody had anything to do with it. Like, I just think that it was our turn to reach out and get touched. It was our turn. And it's unfortunate, but that's how it's got to be sometimes. It was just our turn, bro. Sometimes the injury bug just bite the shit out of your team, and you can't do nothing about it. I don't think anybody needs to be evaluated. Like, what you got to understand is Josh Harris came in here, and he's hired the best, bro, at every turn. Nutrition, recovery, like medical stuff. Like, he's hired the best, bro. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that shit. It just is what it is. It just is what it is, bro. B-Rad. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. B-Rad writes, your take on Lattimore. I must have missed it. I mean, you ain't missed much. Lattimore, this is the Marshawn Lattimore experience, right? On again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again. Every other week, he stinks. Every other week, he's great. So far this year, he's been good on the odd weeks. He was really bad last week, so he had to make up for it this week. So he was good week 1. He wasn't good week 2. He was good week 3. He wasn't good week 4. He was good week 5. He wasn't good week 6. right, against the Bears. Or a matter of fact, he was fine in week 6. So we had to pay in week 7. Now he's good in week 8. He'll be awful next week against Seattle. Jackson Smith and Jigba, put him down for 250 yards and 3 touchdowns next week. And we supposed to win that game. Why? Why us? What did we do to deserve this, man? Lattimore was fine tonight. He could have dove on that fumble, but he had a pick tonight. He really didn't give up anything. Why us, man? Damn. Stephen Dent, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, Revo equals the people's champ. We gonna be all right. Hashtag hopium. Revo is one of those dudes that I know cares a lot. I referenced him without saying his name earlier. I might have said his name. I think I said his name on the show earlier. But he's one of those dudes that cares a lot. Every loss, it impacts him. He feels it. Like, he represents us. He played hard tonight, but he's got limitations. But I just love the energy that he plays with. It's infectious. He was hitting early in the game, but we just don't got enough, man. And you could question whether we had enough before the injuries. There's no doubt now that we don't have enough. You know, we don't have enough. And so the formula was perfect tonight. In order for us to have a chance, you got to force turnovers. Well, we did that. And we scored a whole 7 points. Are you proud of yourself? Unbelievable. Wrath of God. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Wrath of God. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, damn, Lou, I've been a diehard for 30 plus years and I've never seen injuries. I think this is the worst I've ever seen from an injury standpoint in my life. I'm with you. I've been a fan for 30 plus years, bro. I don't know if I've ever seen a season, and I'm pretty sure there was a season that could rival this, but I ain't never seen anything. Because normally in seasons where we got banged up, we were ass anyway. Like, there weren't any expectations. Who cares, right? It just fast-tracked you to Astrodome, right? We weren't supposed to be taking a trip to Astrodome this year. That wasn't our existence. That wasn't in the plans. There wasn't a pit stop to Astrodome or none of that shit. It was just straight to the playoffs. You got to pee? Hold that shit. We're not stopping at Astrodome. Hold it. You can use the bathroom when we get to the playoffs. I haven't seen anything like this in my life, Wrath of God. Like, not for my favorite team. I've seen other teams decimated by injuries where you look from afar and you go, damn, that's crazy, bro. You know the standard line you give somebody where you really don't give a shit? Damn, that's crazy, bro. Wow. That's wild. And then you just keep it pushing because you don't care. But you don't care until it happens to you. Now people from afar looking at us like, damn, that's crazy, bro. Wow. They don't give a shit for real. Call mercy, call Jesus. This blows. Somebody's got hurt every game, every week, bro. We can't talk about just the game. We never can just talk about the game. We always got to talk about injuries. Always. We don't never get to just talk about the game. I couldn't just come here and talk about missed opportunities and how we had a chance in the beginning. We forced 2 turns. We didn't get to talk. We got to talk about, damn, are we going to have Terry next week? Laramie Tunsil, we know he out. He ain't come back. He came back, but we could see it on his face. He fighting, bro. He fighting. He was fighting his ass off. I was like, I don't know how much longer. I told him. He came back. The first play he came back, they put the camera on him, and you could see he was wincing. I said, bro, he fighting. He ain't right. I don't know how much longer he gonna last. 3 plays later, that man out of the game. Ain't come back. He tried. Hats off to him. Shout out to Laramie Tunsil for trying to fight through it, but he couldn't do it. We know he ain't playing next week. Now, the question is, will Javon Kinlaw and Terry McLaurin be joining him? If so, Pussy. Ethan Dykes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, I've been very disappointed by Cliff. What the F you doing? I get it. I'm not blaming Cliff wholeheartedly, but there's times where Cliff could be better. There are absolutely times where Cliff could be better. So I get it. I know why you upset. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Injury Reaper followed AP from San Francisco. That feels like a real thing, doesn't it? Because the 49ers stay hurt. And it feels like we can't catch a break now. But I don't know if that's true or not, because we didn't have this issue last year. And if it truly followed them from San Francisco, we would have had these issues last year and we didn't. So I don't know. Just think that Injury Reaper. I just think the IR making up for lost time last year, unfortunately. Ryan E. Carbon. Thank you for being a member for 18 months. Who writes, what up, Lou? Please explain to me how down 21, under 2 minutes left, we have Ertz in the game and not Ben. Even the NBA knows when to empty the bench. I wish I saw that. I wish I had an answer for you. Again, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. Why you would have your 35-year-old veteran tight end in the game at that point. I guess it's akin to having Bobby Wagner in the game down 28-7. Like you could have put in, Jordan McGee at middle linebacker, Kane Madrano at the wheel, and just let the young boys play. But that ain't like, we not out here trying to give you some run in a blowout and make it worse. Like, we trying to actually get some shit done. That doesn't make any sense. I'm with you, bro. Like, at some point you wave the white flag and you realize I'm cooked today. We lost. So let's not put anybody else in harm's way. Like he did that last week against Dallas, where he waved the white flag, took everybody out the game, and waved and said, there's no coming back. You down 21 under 2 minutes. You're not coming back. Why is Zach Ertz in the game? I'm with you, Ryan. I'm 100% on board with what you're talking about. J Bart, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. J Mart writes, "What's up, LT? What's up, J Mart? Bigger disappointment, Terry or Louie? Oh, without question, Louie, because he's been healthy all season long. He's been out there. Terry ain't been playing. Can't be disappointed with a dude who ain't played. I'm always going to side with the guy that's trying to get to the bag. Like, I don't know if he got great advice and that situation went sideways and it shouldn't have taken as long as it did. But ultimately, if they got a deal done, that shit means they could have gotten the deal done sooner. They could have got the same deal done earlier. So, Louie ain't done shit this year. And again, I put a lot of the onus on the staff. Putting guys in better positions to succeed. But Louisville's clearly been the bigger disappointment. There's a run by Patrick Mahomes in the game tonight on a third down where he's spying His job is to spy. This man takes 3 false steps outside because Mahomes acted like he was going that way, but he didn't declare that way. And Louie overreacted that way. And then Mahomes just runs up the A gap and runs for about 25 yards. And Aikman's like, well, they had Frankie Louie spying Patrick Mahomes. I don't really know what happened. And as you can see, Mahomes acts like he's going outside, and Louie kind of overreacts to that. And then he runs up the A gap, and all of a sudden, there's a lot of green grass. And then they really had him there to spy Mahomes. That's Frankie Louie this year right now. Vichal, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Vichal, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, do you think we will be sellers at the deadline just to load up on picks and get younger? Also, go Dodgers. Again, Vichal, who are you trading, bro? Who has value that can help another team? Who actually has value that you can move? Duran got a toe now. That value's gone. If you wanted to move him. Brandon Coleman, we can't trade him. We need him to start now that Laramie Tunsil injured. Who you trading? All the shit that you thought you could try to move, it either it ain't working or you need it because some other shit ain't working. What you trading away? What you got that somebody else want? You can't be sellers if ain't nobody trying to buy the shit you selling. We can't even afford to sell the shit that we want to sell. You want to sell Duran? He got a toe injury. You want to sell Brandon Coleman? You need him to start at left tackle because Laramie Tunsil hurt now. I mean, theoretically speaking, you could put Andrew Wiley out there. Do you really want to do that? Like, what are we talking about? It's really hard to sell anything. It's not a lot out here to sell. So would love to see them move on from some pieces, but it ain't nothing to sell. Won't have anything. Ethan Dykes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Hey, right. Bright side, some young guys played okay. Owens, McGee, Newton. I think Connerly is playing well. Chris Paul. Also, I love Revo, man. This sucks. Yeah, they got some young boys out there, man. T.O. got some opportunities tonight. McGee was flying around out there tonight. He still got a long way to go, but he just needs the reps. The more he plays, the more he sees, the better he gets. Yeah, Newton had a sack, and then he effed it up with the personal foul penalty by slamming Mahomes, which he didn't need to do. So, Connerly was fine tonight. Like, Marcus Mariota had plenty of time to throw the football tonight. Offensive line did. Other than that 1 3rd down where they gave up immediate pressure, and that was on Cosme. That was clear to see. He had ample time to throw the football tonight. So, Kevin and PRF, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Kev writes, the earlies are in. I appreciate that. Lou, if you are in the DC chair, what would you do about keeping Wags out of bad spots in the secondary? So here's the thing: is you're not gonna if you got him on the field. This is what you got to understand. If you got him on the field, you're not gonna be able to keep him out of bad spots consistently. You're not gonna be able to do that. Teams are gonna force him into those spots unless you're playing zone coverage. But Bobby just can't run, right? The touchdown to Kareem Hunt, all he had to do was keep running with him. He just stopped. Maybe somebody else is supposed to pick him up, but why would you stop running with him? Like, just run with him, right? Like, just run with him. I struggle with guys' decision making, and it's easy for me to say what I would do. I'm not on the field and I'm not having to make a split-second decision, but I just think about the lesser of two evils. If Mahomes is threatening the line of scrimmage, you're in zone coverage, you're covering a receiver or a tight end, and Mahomes is threatening the line of scrimmage, which one would you rather give up? The receiver behind you running potentially for a big gain, or Mahomes running, threatening the line of scrimmage, and he might get 9, 10, 11, 12, and then go out of bounds? Which one you giving up? The tight end / receiver for 20-something, 30-something yards, or Mahomes for 12, right? Louvu's matching, I think it was Kelsey, perfectly in coverage. He's right with him, but he sees Mahomes threatening the line of scrimmage, and he's kind of got his eyes on both, and then he abandons the tight end to come up to threaten Mahomes so he could throw the football, and so he just throws it to the guy that you were supposed to be covering. Like, why would you do that? Make him run. I'd rather give up 12 to him than 30 to the tight end. Like, make it make sense. Like, the trade isn't worth it. And we always seem to make the wrong decision. I'd rather him run. He ain't gonna hurt me like this pass finna hurt me. Wags on that touchdown, like, bro, why did you stop following him? It's 4th down. Keep running with him. You got somebody else screaming towards him. You don't need to worry about keeping eyes on the quarterback. Keep your eyes on your luggage. The only way you can keep Bobby out of those compromising positions is to blitz him. That's the only way you can ensure that on a play, he's on the field, he's not in the compromising. His responsibility is to come after the quarterback. That's the only thing he's got to worry about. How realistic is that? I don't know. Doesn't feel realistic to be able to blitz him almost every play. That's a pass down. So he's a liability. That Noah Gray play where they faked it one way, faked it the other way, and Mahomes stood back there for 20 seconds and then threw the bitch, that should have been a touchdown. If Noah Gray wasn't fiddling around and running all over the damn, if he just run up the field like Tucker Kraft did against us, that's an effing touchdown, bro. Stop putting this man in these positions. We can't. If he on the field, they're gonna isolate him and put him in those positions. You think teams don't understand that that's a liability out there and we're gonna take advantage of it? Every week, teams are scheming to get Bobby Wagner one-on-one in coverage with their running back, tight ends, and some receivers. Every week. And it happens every week. We got lucky that they didn't exploit it more in this game. They tried, and if, like I said, Noah Gray just instead of him running all around like a chicken with his head cut off, if he just run up the field, that's an effing touchdown, bro. Let's get to these early soups. If I was a DC in Washington, I don't care if Bobby Wagner got mad. Yeah, he's a quarterback on the field. He's great, future Hall of Famer. But in certain coverages, in certain packages, bro, you got to come off the field. That's just where we at with it right now. You got to come off the field. You can throw a hissy fit on the sideline. You can be upset, whatever. But this is what we doing now. This is for the good of the team. In certain packages, if he ain't blitzing, you got to come off the field because this is what we're trying to implement. This is what we're trying to do. And if they isolate you, you can't run. Don't talk to me about angles and all that bullshit. The man is 35 and he never had a step to give in the first place. He's 35. Noah Gray is cooking him, bro. Noah Gray ran past this man like he was in quicksand. Noah Gray. Not Kyle Pitts. Noah Gray. Not Jaden Blue. Noah Gray. All right. Let's see what we got here, man. All right. We got to refresh this. And see what we can do. See if we can get it to pull up. It might not pull up. Usually when it freezes like that, I can't get it to pull back up. That means it's doing dumb shit. I'm going to try one more time. If I can't get it to pull up, I'm going to just read them like I used to, old school. You know how we do it. And we'll knock them out that way. All right. I'm going to unhook it. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Rehook it. Reconnect. And let's see if it pick it up. Wow. All right, we back like cook crack. Let's get it. Uh-oh. That ain't what we want to do. All right, let's see if we can find it. Now. No, that ain't what we want. That is not what we want to do. All right, remove that. And let's see. Can we get that to show up? Nah. Okay. So we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to try it again. See what happens. Yeah, it ain't. I need to separate the two. You can get out of here. Let's see that one. Nope. Yeah. And all right. We just gonna have to go old school. I got the thing, I got it to pop up, but can't get the window to just pop up by itself. So let's just go at it old school. All right. So appreciate you, Kevin, the PRF. So shout out. Let me see how many we got here. Stephanie Moon and 6'7". Stand up. You two are the newest members of the MOBB mob. You know what to do. Show 6'7" and Stephanie Moon some love. Welcome them with open arms. Welcome to the squad. 6'7" and Stephanie Moon. Font JD. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Font JD writes, sending this at the beginning of the fourth. At this point, Cliff's play calling is ass. Why don't they design run plays to get Bill out? I've been talking about this. Everything seems like it's up the middle in between the tackles now. That's not where he's his strongest. Not that he can't run in between the tackles, but that's not where our offensive line is at their best. We're an athletic offensive line. We're not a stout, physical, road grading offensive line. He goes on to say, why don't they scheme up plays to get Terry the ball? I don't know. Every time they throw it to him, though, and he can go get it, he go get it. So again, don't ask me. I'm not a genius. You know, I'm just a simple fan at home, just like you, watching a game that fails to understand why it's so hard. When I watch the Chiefs get Rashid Rice the ball 9 times for 93 yards, I watch Puka Nacua every week get 59,000 targets every week for 860,000 yards. And meanwhile, I watched Jamar Chase on a Thursday night with Joe Flacco, who just got there a week and a half ago, get him 27 targets for 20 catches. Yet our guy shows up and he gets, 5 targets for 3 catches. I wish I could make sense of it. I really, truly wish I could. They're going to tell me the coverage dictates where the ball goes, all that bullshit. Well, how come that don't happen for all these other receivers around the league? How come Jackson Smith and Jigba get 6 or 7 catches every week for 130 yards every week, but our guy only gets 3 or 4 targets? Again, make it make sense. I just want to know why. Like, I'm not questioning anything. I just want answers. Why is it so hard for us? That's all. But whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Jordan, been a member for 43 months. Salute. Who writes? This some bullshiggity, Lou. This was not my dream. None of our dreams. All right. We got robbed this year, bro. We got robbed. All our hopes and dreams taken from us before them shits could even really formulate into something real and tangible. Joseph's Journey. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Joseph's Journey writes, why do we never go under center? Our offense is 1D. You got to let that go, Joseph. This is who we are offensively. Our quarterbacks, both of them, Marcus and Jaden, are both more comfortable from the pistol and the shotgun. We're not going under center. That's not what they do. You just got to let that go, Joseph. That ain't who we are. Period. Shadow Striker 789. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. I'm violating right now. You're supposed to be going through these rest of these comments. A1 the Great. Been a member for 42 months. Salute. Who writes, point me to the man that got B-Wags in college. Rio called that man Saddam. What do you call him? This Rio called this man Saddam Witt Jr. he's a domestic terrorist. Saddam Witt Jr. That's the man responsible for Bobby Wagner being in coverage. If you wanted to know, A1 the Great. Also, point me to the man that refuses to run the ball outside zone. That would be one Clifford Kingsbury. One Clifford with a K, Kingsbury. Rob, you been a member for 50 months. Celebrate. Who writes, solid first half performance, but the second is what we are used to seeing. If we can get that first half effort every week, it ain't over. I'm expecting that first half effort against Seattle. Again, do you have Terry McLaurin or not? That's the one. I'm Larry me done in my mind for the next month. He won't be back till after the bye. That's fine. Brandon Coleman can step in. We can help him like we did last year. He'll be fine. We'll survive. Javon Kinlaw, it would be nice to have him against K9. That could be a prolific run game if we don't, clean it up or whatever. But do we have Terry or not? If we don't have Terry, we can't score. None of this shit matters. None of it matters. Rob you, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rob you writes, can we get more Ben Sinnott? It's gonna be time soon. It's gonna be time. Y'all ready? It's time. It's time. It's Sinnott time. Time. It's gonna be Ben Sinnott time soon. Go 3-7. I'm gonna be leading the charge with the pitchforks and torches for Ben Sinnott to get on the field. Enough of this Zach Ertz shit. You ain't winning a damn thing. Get Ben Sinnott on the field. Rob you also writes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, McGee will be better. Need more reps. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. Commander Cole, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Commander Cole writes, I'm not even mad. It just hurts. Why can't we have nice things? That is a great question that I wish I had the answers to. I talked to Bad Dog the other day when they lost Cam Scatterbo, and I said, you're not allowed to have nice things, huh? He was like, I guess not, man, bro. I don't know. I guess I can't have nice things. I feel the same way about us. Like, I guess we can't have nice things. Like, geez, Louise. I don't get it, Lou. I'm tired of this. I'm only 19 years old. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You are spoiled compared to the rest of us. And I'm not trying to disregard your trauma and the shit that you've gone through, but you've been blessed. When you was 18, you got to see this team do extraordinary things. There were people that were 38 years old that hadn't seen that kind of play before. You got to see it in year 18. You are blessed, bruh. He says, I'm only 19 years old, but I just want my team to be consistently respectable. The day we win the Super Bowl will be surreal. It's coming, though. You just got to stay the course. You know what I mean? This year feels like a punch in the nuts. It's a gut punch. It sucks. But what you also got to understand is that Rome wasn't built in a day. And although we got Jaden and we thought he could cure all, he got to be healthy and the pieces around him got to be healthy in order for him to have a shot. He got to be healthy first. Those pieces got to be healthy. They got to be at practice. They got to get time on task. None of that shit happened this year. And we still got to continue to try to build. And we in year 2 of a recalibration. And that's the part that people forget so often because of what we did last year. You forget that we skipped steps. There's a process to this shit. And we skipped a bunch of steps to get to where we got to last year. And when you skip steps, this is what can happen. The expectations go through the roof. You may not be ready for them. But the reason why I don't subscribe wholeheartedly to that narrative is because we never got to see what this shit really was supposed to look like because we were robbed of that by the injury reaper. We never got to see if this shit was actually better than last year, because I truly believe this roster was better than the roster that was constructed last year. But no one's going to give AP any credit for that because we never got to see it, and they're just going to beat him up for the lack of depth. You're not supposed to have elite depth in year 2 of a recalibration. Newsflash. Just so you know. Just so you know. Could he have done this? Could he have done that? Could he have gotten this player? Could he have done more at this position? Sure. But that's nitpicking, and that's hindsight. Hindsight is always 20/20. If we would have stayed relatively healthy, and you're not going to stay perfectly healthy in an NFL season. No one expected that. We thought we had enough depth at certain positions to be able to withstand this, but you also don't anticipate this many injuries like the ones we have. Like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Shadow Striker 789. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Shadow Striker 789 writes, Cliff left his playbook in Las Vegas. Runs are basic. 26 though. Let me see. 26 though. HB dive, power dive. Joe Wick got one note card that says prevent coverage and all caps. Oh no. 26 duo. That's what that was supposed to be. 26 duo. HP dive, power dive. It feels like they lost all sense of our identity as a running team. Like the things that we did that made us successful earlier in the season. Again, I need to go back and watch. I can't speak confidently about the ills of the run game until I actually watch it. I'm just telling you what it feels like watching it. It feels like a lot of duo, a lot of power, a lot of gap scheme, a lot of shit that we don't major in. We don't major in none of that shit. We pull, we get outside to the edges, we get in space, we get our athletic offensive linemen getting up to the second level. We don't do this gap scheme, duo, power shit. Somehow Cliff lost his mind and acting as if we morphed into some sort of power, dick in the dirt, run game where we just bullying teams, and that ain't never been who we been. That's never been who we've ever been. So I'm at a loss as to why all of a sudden now that's what you're trying to make us into. But again, I could be wrong, and they could be running them same ass counters, and them shits just ain't working. I just don't feel like that's what I'm seeing. I could be wrong. Ethan Dykes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Ethan writes, Cliff situationally is looking like Scott Turner. Now we're not gonna put that on Scott. I mean, we're not gonna put that on Cliff. I'm not gonna allow you to put that on Cliff. I can't allow you to do that to Cliff. He ain't that bad. But I will say 2nd and 2, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1. I can't say that was a really rough sequence for Cliff. I can say that. I can say that. Epic Games, Jacob. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? The Dodgers are giving me more hope than our team. Hey, the Dodgers are a perennial World Series team every year. They should be giving you more hope. You've seen them win, and they continue to get back to the mountaintop every year. They're like the Chiefs of MLB. You should have more confidence and hope in the Dodgers. Jaden Doffelmeyer, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, McGee looked lost all night in zone coverage. He had no feel for what's going on behind him. Guess what? McGee's a puppy. You think he's going to just jump out there and McGee's just going to be wrecking shit, Jaden? You got to give him a chance to get some reps under his belt. The more he sees, the more comfortable he gets, the better he becomes. You got to put him out there, just like we talked about with Jalen Lane. You got to let him make some mistakes. You got to let him see what's going on and get better and better and better. He's not going to get better by the first time you see trouble, you bench him. You get him out of there. You got to give him a chance. So I don't expect McGee to come in and be flawless. These are the growing pains. We were hoping to go through this last year with him. We didn't because he got hurt. So now you got to go through it this year, which is fine. I'd rather go through it in a year that feels like it's lost. I'm not there yet, but it's trending in that direction. I'd rather go through it now than last year when we were actually playing for some shit. G Moore, baby. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Kelsey wide open running 5 miles. Yeah, he do be running 5 miles per hour. We so sad, bro. We so sad. Kelsey wide open running 5 miles per hour. Laughing my ass off. Or LOL. Nobody ever checks this dude. Take a player and say, follow that guy no matter what, like in high school. I don't get it. Now, they were doing that with Tyler Owens. You know, and he did a good job at times. But the times where they weren't in man coverage and Owens wasn't covering them, Kelsey just got wide open. So I don't disagree with you. Like, but they did put Tyler Owens on him, and he actually did a pretty solid job early in the game. Uncle Jay, Jason Rogers, been a member for 41 months. Salute. Who writes? Remember those predictions during the live podcast? Good times, right? Those were really good times. I don't know where the good times at. I'm just trying to bring the good times back. I don't know where they went at, but I'm just trying to bring them back. Those were great vibes. Talking reckless. MVP talk for Jaden. All that shit. Remember that? Remember National Bill Day? That was just 3 weeks ago in week 5. What happened, Uncle Jay? Jesus, man. What happened, Uncle Jay? Let's get a word from our sponsor real quick. Come back on the other side. We'll clean up the rest of these comments and get out of here.
Sleeper. Sleeper is the best way to experience and connect over sports together. It's a one-stop shop for all of your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat in the games in real time with other users, get the fastest scores, blazing fast news and alerts right at your fingertips. Play in fantasy leagues and win real money on picks contests. So enjoy sports the way they were meant to, together. Download the #1 sports app today. Predict the hottest football stats like passing yards, receiving yards, touchdowns, interceptions, and much more to cash in on your daily fantasy football skills. Use promo code LTN and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. Sleeper.
Oh, damn. Welcome back. Shit. That was quick. All right, let's finish this thing up. Joe Rockhead. Been a member for 46 months. Who writes, we've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray. And honestly, this ain't on the team, bro. This is literally the injury reaper has just undone this season to the point where we don't even recognize this season anymore. Shit is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Sean RHTTR, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Dave, for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, we hashtag dead in the water. Hashtag hopium wore off, Louie. Just laughing to soften the pain, unfortunately. The hopium is definitely wearing off. I still got some vials. I'm looking at the box of vials. I still have more hopium right here, but I'm not injecting this shit if it's not worth it. I'm not going to waste it. I need to hear what's going on with Terry and see, like, DQ's going to lie to me. What? I shouldn't say lie to me because he hasn't lied to me yet. DQ's not going to rule Terry out. He's not going to tell us anything crazy unless it's just bad. At that point, he'll just be like, hey, we got some bad news. Terry's going to be yada, yada, yada. We'll know way before his press conference. One of the national outlets will have the shit before then. But if it's something not minor, if it's like the last one, he's going to string us along. Hey, we like the progress he's making, but he ain't practicing. If that's the shit, and we've been through it enough this year, we can sniff the shit out. If he ain't practiced by Thursday, we know the shit ain't happening. He ain't no defensive lineman or no edge rusher where you don't practice all week, but you still playing a game. Skill guys got to practice. He don't practice on Thursday, his ass ain't playing on Sunday. And if he out, then I'm not even wasting any more hopium. I'm going to save it for when I need it. That shit's expensive. Steve, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Steve writes, Jacob Martin, DN, looking like a keeper at this point. He's played well. And again, it's unfortunate that we never got to see him in the role that he was designed for. He's the equivalent of what Dante Fowler Jr. was last year, except he ain't putting up the numbers that Dante Fowler Jr. put up. But the same exact thing happened to him that happened to Fowler Jr. last year, which is he got an extended role because of injuries. He ended up having to play a lot more than he should have. And I like what I'm seeing from him, but it's no different than what every other team that had Jacob Martin has said. Hey, we like this Jacob Martin fella, but Jacob Martin going to end up with 4.5 sacks at the end of this season. How many he got right now? He had 2 tonight. Probably had 1.5 coming into the game. And he and you see how much time we got left? He gonna end up with 4.5 sacks. He ain't never had 5 sacks a day in his life in the NFL. It ain't because he don't have talent. He just don't get to the quarterback. We'll see. Maybe he could. I said this before the season started. If Jacob Martin can have a career year, that's going to be huge for us. But that was in the role as a backup, off the bench edge rusher. This man is starting. Now we need his production. It's not added. It's not adding to the 14.5 sacks that Dorrance Armstrong was going to get us and the 5 sacks or the 4.5 sacks that Dietrich Wise, but the really dominant run defense he was going to play. That ain't adding to that. We need Jacob Martin to step up. He's played well, though. Gotta give credit where credit is due. He was awesome against Dallas last week. He was good tonight. He don't have a lot of help, though. He don't have a lot of help. CGM87, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. CGM writes, Quan flag burned any momentum. Total bum. Yeah, Quan. I've already told y'all this with Quan. I've said this to you guys enough times now that I don't really feel the need to have to continue to repeat it. But Quan is never going to live up to the expectations that you guys have set for him. He'll never live up to the billing of a second-round pick. He'll never do that. And it's unfortunate because it is what it is. You need your second-round picks. You need your first-round picks to be dudes for you. And we haven't drafted enough of those, right, in the past. So now you're relying on this staff to get it right. And they had 3 second-round picks. And how many of those second-round picks look like dudes right now? Like, that's a real thing. Like, you got to hit on those first. You got to hit on your first 2 days. The vast majority of those. That's where you really got to do the damage. And I don't feel like we've done that right now. I don't feel like we've hit home runs. Like, we knew right away Lassiter in Houston was a dog. We knew right away, or I did. I can't speak for y'all, that Jalen Petrie was a dog right away. We knew that. These are things we knew right away. Don't feel like we've been able to determine that with any of our second-round picks other than Trey Amos. So Quan won't be what you want him to be. And that's unfortunate, but that's just where we at with Quan. Kevin, the PRF, been a member for 42 months. Salute, who writes, Vermillion and his secret stash still available? We down so bad, man. I don't know if the secret stash is still available, but there's still some left. I don't know if there's a secret stash available or not. CGM87, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, double up, let me double you up first. FBI needs to investigate NFL officials. Abysmal. That's a Chiefs thing, though. Like, there's this league-wide conspiracy that the Chiefs get calls. It was crazy tonight. Like, nothing went our way from an actual call on the field perspective. You know, good thing is there's replay to be able to overturn some of this stuff. But like the Zach Ertz spot, I still think was a poor spot that didn't get that. That should have been a first down. And spots are so hard to challenge. It's got to be like obvious for them to overturn it. You weren't going to win that challenge. I wanted DQ just to challenge, just to make me happy, right? Just to force them to look at the shit again. But he wasn't going to win. He was just going to lose a timeout and a challenge. And it's the thing that sucks about NFL spotting. And I've said this before. Most of the time, these officials get it right. They get it right more times than they get it wrong. But the official that's spotting the ball, they're 7 to 10 yards behind the play. And they got to eyeball where that guy falls down and where the ball is and run up to that spot and spot the ball. That's a really hard job to do. So it's an inexact science, and we got hurt by it tonight. Barry Curtis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Barry writes, Terry is the only vertical threat receiver on the team. Teams just stack the box when he's not out there. Poor roster construction. I miss Diami. Yeah. I don't know if Diami would have been the answer. Like, people that bring up Diami, like Diami was this, dynamic receiver. Like, Diami hasn't done anything in Jacksonville. That's not to say he wouldn't have done anything here had he been here, but Diami hasn't done anything in Jacksonville. But We don't have another vertical threat. You are absolutely correct. Jalen Lane has speed, but it doesn't feel like it. It must not work in a straight line or something. I don't know, because we don't use him vertically. We used him on a stop and go against the Bears, and that was it. Like, we don't use him vertically really at all, which is frustrating because we need somebody else to threaten the football field vertically. We need teams to back up off of us. And if you got another guy that can run, you need to showcase him to teams so they know, yo, we got to pay attention to this guy. And we just don't. And the only time we actually take vertical shots is when Terry's in the lineup. You know, we took some to Devo against the Falcons, and he hit him for the touchdown on 4th down. But usually, if Terry's not in the lineup, we don't take vertical shots. And you see the difference when Terry's in the lineup. If you get one-on-one, you see we go to it, and there's a real chance of it working out. You take Terry off the field, and they can blitz with impunity, and they can be aggressive, and they can come up, and they can press, and there's no penalty for it because we don't have anybody that's going to make you pay other than Terry. And it feels like the run game has never recovered from teams realizing that y'all ain't got shit that scares us. And when people, you know, I hate to bring this up because I don't even want to entertain this conversation, but when people bring up what do we need the most next year, like, I get why people say it's receiver, because we don't threaten anybody defensively right now. No one is afraid of what we put on the field. And that's because of injuries, but nobody cares about a non-Terry and Devo offense. Nobody cares. And they got bullish tonight. But that's, I already told you, it didn't matter who was at receiver. They were going to do what they ultimately did. The Chiefs challenged everybody at receiver. They challenged everybody. And that's not just a us thing. They were going to challenge us regardless, because that's what they do. They blitz and they play press coverage, and you got to beat it. You got to prove that you can beat it. Terry proved that he could beat it tonight. We just don't have a lot of guys that can. So, DCN1, been a member for 23 months. Writes, second round rookie cornerback is our best defensive player. Probably. With no Dorrance Armstrong? Yeah, probably. Trey Amos is probably our best defensive player right now. I don't think you're wrong. And he still be making mistakes. He had a busted coverage where Travis Kelce was wide ass open down the sidelines. I think it was Travis Kelce. Might have been Xavier Worthy. But one of them receivers, somebody was open wide as hell, open, and he busted coverage. He young. He make mistakes. He's done that before this season where he's made a mistake. So it's enough blame to go around. But yeah, it feels like from a talent perspective, Trey Amos is our best defender right now. I would say that's accurate. Anyway, that was the last super chat, which means time to go. Commanders fall 28-7 to the Kansas City Chiefs, who improved to 5-3 on the season. They're really good. And they gave us every opportunity to be in this game, and we wanted no parts of it. We didn't take advantage of the opportunities early in the game. We didn't create the kind of environment in the second half that forced the Chiefs. Like, I'm a big game pressure guy. Like, create some sort of game pressure. Force that team. Not that the Chiefs aren't accustomed to game pressure and that they would have folded under that, but just force it anyway. See what happens. They were tight early, right? This team that we supposed to blow out is hanging around. Kelce dropping passes, like, force game pressure. We didn't do that in the second half. It got away from us, and it's unfortunate. But I had already counted this as a loss, so I'm not tripping, but I'm more concerned about the injuries moving forward. Will we get Jaden back? Who knows? We'll see. Will Terry be a part of the lineup next week? That's the big one. No Laramie Tunsil. He's going to be out with the hamstring. And Javon Kinlaw, I think, is going to be fine. You can put a harness on it. He can, get out there. Will he be the same? Don't know. But more injuries. I'm sick of this shit. But such is life. Anyway, I digress. Glizzy McGuire, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, we officially in code red? Yeah. Next week is code red. You don't beat them, I can't see you beating Detroit the following week. It technically isn't code red until Detroit, because you could lose. Like I said, you only got to win 1 out of the 3. So you could technically lose against Seattle and then beat Detroit. You probably rather do it that way, to be honest with you. Not that you want to lose 4 in a row and get to 3 and 6. But if you beat Detroit, now you go into that Miami game with momentum, and you can make it 2 in a row, and then all of a sudden you go into that bye week, 2 winners of 2 straight, you're 5 and 6, come out of that bye, and you do what I said, which is win 4 straight. Now you 9 and 6, and now we got ourselves a season, right? With 3 to go. You got yourself, or I said 4 straight. It would be 3 straight, excuse me. You would have, then you got a chance to win 3 straight coming out of the bye. You're 8 and 6 with 3 to go. Against 2 against the Eagles, 1 against the Dallas Sandwich in the middle of that. So that's where you got to try to get to 8 and 6 with 3 left. But and you rather it be Detroit that you beat and parlay that into a win against Miami, and now you riding a 2-game heater going into your bye. But you just got to win 1 of the next 2 games. So yeah, not really. It's not really a cold red. Because you don't have to win that game. You want to win that game. You got to win 1 of the next 2. You don't win Seattle, then Detroit becomes cold red, though. It feels like Seattle is cold red because if you don't win that game, you're probably not beating Detroit either. Anyway. But we'll see. I would say no right now. Cold red is only reserved for games that you got to win. And if you don't win, it's over. That's Detroit. If you don't beat Seattle, then Detroit becomes cold red. You beat Seattle, then you're right back. You got the 1 win, and now you're playing with house money. You can try to see if you can get hot and somehow get to 6 and 5 if you can beat Miami, Detroit and Miami. But again, highly unlikely. 1 at a time. No, Seattle is not cold red. It's cold red for me personally, because I don't think you're beating Detroit. And which is why I said, you some of them bitches better beat Seattle next week, because you're probably not beating Detroit if you don't beat Seattle the week after. But personally, yes, it's a cold red. But is it truly a cold red? No, not by the standards of the checklist that's been set. You just got to win 1 of the next 2. Really doesn't matter which one. You just got to win 1 of the next 2. If that makes sense. Anyway, I digress. That's going to do it for me, your man Louie T, here on Monday Night Football Overtime. Commanders hang in, but ultimately fall to pieces 28-7 to the Kansas City Chiefs, who now run their record to 5-3. Commanders drop to 3-5. That's now 3 straight losses for the Commanders, and maybe more injuries for them to have to deal with. We'll see what all DQ gives us tomorrow. I think we won't find out anything until Wednesday. So I hate it here, man. I am miserable here, as I imagine most of you are as well. But this is what we signed up for. We signed up for this team through thick and thin, through the best of times, through the worst of times. This shit just sucks. Hey, Injury Reaper. Mercy, 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 bro. You got us. Let us go now, man. Please. You've done enough damage already. Until next time, I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. See you next time. Peace.